Okay, let's dive into this. You've poured, well, everything into a research project, haven't you? You're excited, you've got these findings, you want to share them. And then, uh-oh,
Yeah,
your submission hits a wall. Not because the science is bad, but formatting, it happens a lot.
it really does. And it's often, well, incredibly frustrating because it feels like such a pointless barrier sometimes.
Exactly.
But maybe think of it like this. Getting that journal template right. It's a basic skill, almost like learning the rules of the road.
Okay.
It seriously boosts your chances that someone will actually read your science. And that's what we're digging into today.
Perfect, because we're looking at this really helpful YouTube video. It's from Tayeb Bilwada Hiye She.
Yes.
And the title is Ehiso and Yuiche. And saying we like my A can have which basically translates to preparing a scientific article for publication in a peer-reviewed scientific journal. So our mission here is to pull out the real practical tips on handling those journal templates, to help you avoid those common traps.
And it's interesting. The video points out that even before you worry about the template itself, the very first thing is, well, strategy.
Strategy. How so?
Choosing the right journal. For researchers maybe in Algeria or nearby, platforms like the ASJP, the Algerian Platform for Scientific Journals, are key.
Like a central hub.
Exactly, like other regional databases globally.
Okay.
Picking the right place for your work is step one. Then you worry about the template.
Got it. So, okay, you've picked your journal. Now finding that template. Where do we usually look?
Typically, you'll head to the journal's website, find the instructions for authors section. That's usually where it lives.
Okay.
And often it's a compressed file, like a zip file.
Mm-hmm.
And interestingly, you might find templates in, say, Arabic, English, sometimes French too.
Mm-hmm.
Reflects the international nature of research.
Right, multiple languages in one package. So you download it, you open it up. What are the sort of standard bits we need to get familiar with inside that template?
Well, they generally follow a pretty standard structure. You'll almost always have a space for the title.
Mm-hmm.
And often, critically, they want it in both Arabic and English.
Okay. Both.
Then you've got the author info field, your name, where you work, like your university or research center, and your email.
Standard stuff.
Then the core bits.
Yeah.
The abstract, your keywords, the main body of the article, naturally, and then your references or footnotes section at the end.
And I'm guessing it's not just having those sections, it's how they look, right? The formatting.
Precisely. That's where it gets really specific. Each part will probably have rules, font type, font size, the line spacing. You have to be meticulous.
Meticulous. Okay.
The video even mentions an example, the Journal of Legal Studies and Research. Apparently, they specify like 10 to 20 pages max.
Wow. Okay. A limit.
And crucially, they say do not change the template's design at all. The size, the shape, nothing.
That sounds rigid.
It is. But that rigidity ensures everything looks uniform, makes it easier for everyone to read and process.
That level of inflexibility sounds, well, a bit daunting. So how do you actually get your research into this strict format without everything going haywire?
Yeah, good question. The smart way, the recommended way, is to actually write your whole article in a totally separate document first.
Okay. Draft it outside the template.
Exactly. Focus on your writing, the flow, the content, get it right there. Then carefully copy and paste each section into the right spot in the template.
I see. So copy paste carefully.
It really helps keep the template's formatting intact and stops you from accidentally messing things up.
That makes sense. What about the smaller details, the things that are easy to miss but might trip you up?
Oh, absolutely critical. Attention to detail here is paramount.
Yeah.
Like the title in English.
Yeah.
Many journals want title case. So capitalizing the first letter of the important words.
Right, not just the first word?
Exactly. It seems small, but it helps with indexing and just looks professional. The video really emphasizes that following the template literally is often the first major hurdle.
Mm.
It's surprisingly common for papers to get bounced back right at the start, before peer review, just for not matching the template format.
Ouch. Yeah, that's the kind of thing you want to avoid. So, okay, you've carefully pasted everything in. What's next before you hit submit?
Right, before you even think about uploading, there's one more crucial cleanup step. You must delete any instructional text left in the template.
The bits that tell you what to put where.
Yeah, often they're in, like red font or something obvious. You need to get rid of all that.
Makes sense. Leaving it in would look pretty savvy.
Exactly. It basically screams, I didn't read the instructions properly. Not a good first impression.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
What about abstracts and keywords? They often have specific rules too, don't they?
They absolutely do. Abstracts usually have strict length limits, maybe a maximum number of lines, or word count.
To keep it concise.
Precisely. Let's readers quickly get the gist. And keywords, yeah, usually limited to, often it's, say, no more than 5 keywords. Helps with database searches.
Okay. And are there any sort of special notes for researchers maybe earlier in their careers, like doctoral students?
Yes, the video does mention that. For PhD students, it's typical that you need to include your supervisor's name alongside yours on the author list.
Okay. Makes sense.
Unless, there's some official written waiver or something. But generally, supervisor's name goes on.
Good to know.
And also, for the corresponding author, the person who handles communication about the paper.
Yeah.
Just list their name. Don't add extra words like corresponding author next to it. Just the name. Keeps it clean for communication.
Right. Simplicity. Okay, so you've dotted the I's, crossed the T's on the template. It's looking perfect. Now, submitting it, what does that usually involve on the journal's website or platform?
Okay, the online submission part, it's usually fairly step-by-step. You log into your account on the journal's platform. Then look for something like submit a new article or new submission. Pretty straightforward usually.
Okay.
Then they'll likely ask you to pick the research area or subject category your article fits into.
Right, classifying it and then uploading the file itself.
Correct. You'll get to a point where you upload your finished template file, usually as a Word document.
Got it.
But here's a key thing. Often, the platform also makes you copy and paste your abstract again, both Arabic and English, probably into separate text boxes on the webpage.
Oh, really? Even though it's in the document?
Yeah, it's kind of a duplication, but it's for their system's metadata. Same app goes for keywords. You might have to type them into individual fields, too.
Okay, so double entry for abstract and keywords, potentially. Good tip. What about the author details on the platform?
Super important step. You'll need to add info for every single author. That means their title, full name, their institution be specific, and their email.
Email any specifics there?
Yes. The video highlights using official institutional emails whenever possible. It looks more professional and helps verify identity.
Right.
And make sure the email you put on the platform matches the one in the article file you uploaded. Consistency.
Good point.
You'll also need to specify each author's country, and then the final step before you actually click submit.
Deep breath.
Yeah, maybe. But definitely review everything you've entered on the platform. Check for typos in names, emails, affiliations. Accuracy is crucial.
So it really sounds like nailing this template isn't just like a small administrative thing. It's genuinely the first gate you have to pass through.
That's exactly it. That's the big takeaway. Being meticulous, strictly following that template, it's what gets you past the initial check, gets you to peer review.
Right.
When you follow the template, you make life easier for the editors, for the reviewers. It shows you're serious, you pay attention to detail.
It signals professionalism.
Completely. It says you understand how academic publishing works, at least the basics.
But we should also be clear, right? Getting the template perfect is necessary, but it's not sufficient on its own, is it?
Oh, absolutely not. It's just the first step, the ticket to entry, if you like.
Yeah.
Your paper ultimately gets accepted or rejected based on the science, the quality, the originality, the strength of your arguments and evidence. You can have the most beautiful formatting. But if the research itself is weak,
it's still not getting published.
Exactly. The template gets you in the door. The science has to do the rest.
This whole focus on standardization, though, it does make you think a bit broader, doesn't it, about academic writing in general?
It really does. And the video kind of touches on this wider question. These templates, they absolutely help with clarity, consistency, efficiency.
Which is good.
Which is definitely good for sharing knowledge.
Yeah.
But does it potentially stifle a researcher's own unique voice or style?
Yeah.
That's a tension there.
The balance between uniformity for clarity and, well, individual expression.
Precisely.
Right.
It makes you wonder about that trade-off in academia.
So wrapping this up then, the core message seems crystal clear. Really getting to grips with the journal template is just a non-negotiable skill for researchers. It's about sweating the small stuff now to save yourself major headaches and delays later. Getting your work seen.
Totally. Understand that the template is that first gatekeeper. Nail its requirements, follow them to the letter, and you give your actual research the best possible chance of being properly evaluated on its merits.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that final point you raised, it does leave you with something to chew on, doesn't it? As we all encounter these standardized formats, not just in publishing, but everywhere, how do you find that balance? between the need for everything to be clear and uniform and, well, the space for your own individual way of expressing things, something to think about.